Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It is your host JD. I hope you're all doing well and are having a great start to your week. Whilst it may be the start of a new week, one situation that continues to go on and will go on for the foreseeable future. It doesn't matter what day it is, what week it is. It is this issue we see within women's sports where men identify as women and then compete in the female category. And it's an issue that you've heard me say time and time again, according to the woke liberals and leftists of the world, it doesn't exist, people are making it up, it's an exaggeration. Yeah, delusion seems to be this thing that is easily caught these days. But this huge problem with women's sports has become a big talking point recently within the world of women's volleyball, because we have San Jose State who have decided to go down the very stunning and brave route by including a male on the team that goes by the name of Blaire Fleming. And as you can see on your screen, this is video footage of the athlete that was recorded. It definitely looks normal and fair on the rest of the women competing. Left is right, up is down, common sense, hard to find. But because of the inclusion of this male on this team, what a progressive word that was, by the way, inclusion. Not a Trojan horse whatsoever, absolutely not. But because they're allowing this male to compete on the women's team, and he's allowed to, by the way, because of the NCAA and their woke policies, we are now seeing more and more women's teams refusing to compete. And the last time I reported on this whole situation to you guys, it was 3 teams who had decided to pull out, but now we have a 4th team who is refusing to compete against San Jose State. And the news, it doesn't stop there, because one of Blaire Fleming's teammates actually spoke out about this whole thing and her experience, and because she did so, she faced a threat on her life. These woke activists are absolutely insane. And then at the end of this video, we'll be briefly talking about the coach of San Jose State, who is apparently very disappointed that teams are deciding to pull out. You wouldn't expect anything else, would you really? Nah. But before we get into all of this news, ladies and gentlemen, if you could, as always, you know the rules by now, make sure to leave a like rating, as it really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description, and let's get into it. The Daily Citizen have reported 4 women's volleyball teams forfeit they won't play a team with a man. 4 collegiate women's volleyball teams have chosen to forfeit their matches rather than play a team with a man who claims he is a woman. Utah State, who is the latest team to refuse to compete, Southern Utah, Boise State, and the University of Wyoming have chosen to protect their players and take a stand for fairness rather than play San Jose State, which has a transgender identified woman on its roster. All schools are in the NCAA Division Mountain West Conference except for Southern Utah, which is part of the Big Sky Conference. Their courageous stand is part of a growing backlash against boys and men competing in girls and women's sports. And as I've said before with this whole story whilst talking about it in previous videos, what the teams are doing here, it is very brave, because we live in this time now, as we all know, where you can say absolutely anything and you can get cancelled. You will face consequences because you can't disagree with anything. You have to agree with everything. All the woke agendas. You simply say, oh, men can't become women. That's it. You're done. That's the world we live in, so well done to these women. Now, they shouldn't have to refuse to compete because they shouldn't be dealing with this issue in the very first place. Welcome to our lovely, stunning and brave society. And this individual who is causing all the controversy, the trans athlete, they're not solely to blame here either. There are other people involved who need to be held accountable. For example, the NCAA and their woke policies. If they didn't exist and they just straight said men compete against men, women compete against women, I wouldn't be sat here, no one else would be on your screen talking about it. But we have these adults here who go along with it, and then they push it onto everybody else. They enforce it on everybody, to the point where we now have women refusing to compete in their own sports just because these woke activists have taken control. And they want you to conform with their worldview. You must think how they think. And if you don't, oh boy, that is it. The woke mob, yeah, they'll act how they see fit. For example, as you heard me say at the beginning of this video, one of Blaire Fleming's teammates spoke out about this, and her safety became a concern. Rather than protect its players, Colorado State decided to play San Jose on October 3rd, winning in 3 straight sets, despite the presence of Blaire Fleming, the 6'1" transgender identified athlete. Police were present, however, at the match because Fleming's teammate Brooke Slusser was threatened after she spoke out against his presence on the team. San Jose starting setter and co-captain Slusser has joined the lawsuit against the NCAA, citing fairness and safety. The Cowboy State Daily reported about the complaint. Brooke estimates that Fleming's spikes were traveling upward of 80 miles per hour, which was faster than she had ever seen a woman hit a volleyball, the complaint said. The girls were doing everything they could to dodge Fleming's spikes, but still could not fully protect themselves. Where are the woke liberal feminists, the woke liberal men coming out and speaking out about this? Because women's safety is clearly a concern here, right? Oh wait, silence. Yeah. Slusser was also forced to share rooms with Fleming without being told her teammate was male. Redux, a feminist news and opinion site, reported she received a threat for opposing Fleming's presence on her team. On October 2nd, a suspected threat against Slusser's life was received by one of her teammates via Instagram. After being made aware of the threat, Slusser contacted police in Fort Collins, the outlet reported. Speaking to Redux, Slusser says there will be police escorting the athletes to and from their vehicles, locker rooms, and the gym. There will also be metal detectors installed at the entrance points, and armed officers will be present at the game in order to ensure the safety of everyone in attendance. Wow, would you look at that, ladies and gentlemen? The people who preach about being kind every single day aren't acting very kind. Who could have seen that one coming? And this all happened, again, because she simply spoke out about this whole thing. She had to share a room with Blaire Fleming without even knowing it was a dude. Oh, but don't you dare say anything bad about it, because if you disagree with men in women's sports, if you disagree with the whole idea and you think it's wrong, well, you could now face a threat from a deranged woke activist. Police had to escort people everywhere, and these are the very same people who claim to be victims. Oh, look at all this bigotry going on, it's so mean, it's so hateful. Yet they're acting like this. It's an absolute joke. But the jokes don't stop there, because the coach of San Jose State is apparently very disappointed that teams are refusing to compete. Outkick go on to report SJSU volleyball coach disappointed teams don't want to play against transgender Blaire Fleming. After the match, Spartans head coach Todd Kress said he was disappointed that his team was losing opportunities to play, but did not reference why exactly schools don't want to face San Jose State. I can't imagine why. It's lost on me, it really is. Maybe you guys can let me know why this is all going on. I walked up to the Colorado State head coach and was like, should I thank you for playing us tonight? And I seriously meant that, Kress said, according to the Denver Post. It's not just us that are losing opportunities to play, Kress continued. It's the people choosing not to play us, and that's very unfortunate when it comes to these young women who have earned the right to step on the court and play. Well, Coach Kress, people are choosing not to play your team because your team chooses to roster a biological male. You've made a choice, so they've made their own choice. Yeah, and I'll reiterate that point. There is one individual who doesn't have the right to compete against women, and this is why it is going on. You know, the lack of self-awareness here is actually quite hilarious, or he's just choosing not to say the truth. I don't get, though, how you can come out and then play the victim. You know, it's your team who is causing the issues. Obviously, there's multiple factors at play here as to why this male is allowed to compete, but to come out and say your team is losing opportunities, mate, that is laughable. But until the proper action is taken, it will be down to women, to girls, to stand up and forfeit matches and say, hey, look, we're not doing this anymore. Enough is enough. But leave your thoughts down below, ladies and gentlemen. What are your thoughts on everything that was brought to your attention in this video? I'd like to know. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description. But until next time, it has been your host JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.